Morning. Just left my campsite about 10 to 8. A lot more overcast today. A bit more breezy. But yeah, just walking from the campsite back down to Portloe, pick up the coast path. I think it's about a 30-minute walk back down to the coast. But yeah, really good sight. Like I say, last night the guy offered to come and pick me up from Portloe, which was amazing because I'd run out of time. You know, they were gonna close at 6, and I think I got to Portloe about 5:30, and I didn't really think I could have walked up to the campsite in time. So yeah, really nice of them to come and pick me up. Surprisingly, I'm not hungry this morning, even considering what I had for my tea last night. But yeah, if I see somewhere to get some food, I will pick some up. My plan today is to walk to Pentewan, so I think distance wise similar to yesterday, but the one main difference is I've got a lot more time. By the time I'd driven down yesterday to Falmouth and then got the 2 ferries, you know, Falmouth to St Mawes and St Mawes to Place, didn't actually start walking until 11 o'clock. So yeah, I'm a good sort of 3 hours ahead of that start time today. So yeah, anyway, I'll bring you back when we get down to the coast path and we'll walk on to Pentewan. Pretty tough start coming out of Portloe. Straight away you're greeted by 100 or so steps, pretty steep coming up the hill, and then there's a few more ups and downs, all pretty big, and the path's a little bit overgrown here. There's a lot of head height bracken, so you're sort of trying to squeeze through all of that and pick your way through the path. You're actually trying to find the path at times because the bracken sort of obscuring the clear line of where you're meant to be walking, and some of these paths are quite close to the edge, so yeah, you've got to be a bit careful with your footing. But got a view in front of me now of East and West Port Holland. I don't think there's anything there in terms of like tea, coffee or food, but anyway, I'll have a look when I get there. Alright, nothing for me in West Port Holland. Let's try East Port Holland. Well, so East Port Holland does have a cafe. I think it's called Pebbles Cafe, but it is closed at the moment, so there's no opening times listed outside, so just have to carry on, I'm afraid. This is Portloe Cove. Another pretty good looking cafe there, but it is also closed, so it's probably, you know, it's that time of year, isn't it? Season's coming to an end. I met a lady further back, and she said that cafe would probably be closed, and I'm unlikely now to find anything until I get to Gorran. So it's quite a remote stretch, this, especially at this time of year where you know, we're coming towards the end of the season and not so many places are open, or certainly not as open for, you know, the full day. So yeah, I haven't brought my stove again with me, or, you know, my super noodles or whatever I would normally bring. So I was relying on buying food as I went. So yeah, bit of a remote stretch, this one. But once I get to Gorran, you know, I'll stock up on some bits. And my campsite tonight, I'm pretty sure it's a big campsite, and they'll have a lot of facilities there. Probably have some good food as well.
Saw you paint a picture of a face, face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's so hard to move on. You haven't changed, you stayed the same, but if you
got a lovely bit of sea mist coming in now, so I've had to put my my cagoule on. This is something new that I bought to take with me on the Jurassic Coast. It was a bit lighter than my other waterproof, so yeah, trying it out for the first time today. So this is the cross on the end of Dodman Point. We're pretty high up here. I think we're like a 330-ish feet, I think. And we should have pretty spectacular views, both back the way we've come and the way we're heading. But it's very similar to when I was at the top of Great Hangman, you know, the highest point on the southwest coast path up on the north coast. Climbed to the top of that, expecting fantastic views, and I had visibility of about 5 meters, and it's pretty similar up here today. Up there's where the cross is at the top of Dodman Point, and you can see the band of cloud and drizzle that I was in, you know, obscuring the view that we had from up there. But we've come down slightly now out of that, and yes, there's still a little bit in the air, but it's much clearer now we've descended slightly. Anyway, moving on, we've got about a mile to Gorran Haven. I can see a cafe open. Thank God. Definitely ready for a cup of tea. Well, that was a very welcome break in Gorran Haven. The cafe was open, so I had a nice sandwich, cup of tea, and filled up my water bottles. The man in the cafe said it's only about another hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes to get to Mevagissey, which is where, if you're following Paddy Dillon and the Cicerone guidebook, that is where today's walk would end. But I'm going to push on further and go to Pentewan because they got a good campsite there. Yeah, don't know whether that's going to be a mistake. Last time I sort of went off piste and went against, you know, did something different to Paddy Dillon. I ended up not making it to my camp for the night, wild camping on the path and nearly crying with exhaustion. Anyway, hopefully it'll be all right. I still feel all right actually today. Apparently the bit this morning, the man in the cafe said was the hard bit for today, and he didn't think this walk into Mevagissey was too bad. He didn't know what the path was like beyond Mevagissey onto Pentewan, but yeah, I think once you're at Mevagissey, it's not too much further to Pentewan, but yeah, I'll have a look at the maps in a bit and try and work out what the terrain's going to be like. Well, Mevagissey certainly had a large selection of places to stop and eat and drink, but anyway, I bypassed all of those because I wanted to well, I'll save myself when I get to the campsite. But anyway, as I climbed out of Mevagissey, I met a nice couple on the climb out, and we just started talking. And anyway, well, they were doing the coast path as well. Turns out they live near me, and we just sat there and chatted for about 40 minutes. So I should already, I think, be at the campsite, but these little conversations and delays and the people we meet along the way are some of the best memories I've had on the coast path. So it's always nice to stop and chat to people if they're willing to. Anyway, just got my first view of Pentewan and the campsite down there on the beach. So yes, I beat Paddy Dillon for the first time ever. Actually, I think this might be the second time I've gone further than Paddy Dillon. I did Clovelly to, well, just short of Morwenstow. I think I stopped at Yeomouth, a little valley just before Morwenstow. And Paddy Dillon on that day did Clovelly to Dodman Point, I believe, or Hartland Quay. So yeah, I obviously went further than that day, even though it ended in disaster. Looks like the path's got one last hill for me to get over today. Oh joy. Right, made it to Pentewan Sands campsite. This place is massive, it's so big, I even needed a map. Anyway, good news for me is showers, and they've got multiple restaurants here. One of them is a Hubbox, so that'll probably do me for this evening. They were trying to tell me about the swimming pool, but it's not really what I'm here for, so I skipped on that bit. But yeah, I'm gonna go have a shower now, get some tea, and then I'll see you in the morning where we will finish this little trip when we walk on to Par. All right, thanks for watching everyone. See you in the next one.